Hey, it's Brad Nortman from KBN. You're listening to 1430 ESPN Beaver Dam, WBEVAM, Beaver Dam, Dodge County, a locally owned Good Karma brand station.
Teams like the Browns, the Packers, they have no right playing in a dome. And the fact that the Browns are getting an indoor stadium, it sets me off.
Obviously.
It does.
That's right. It's time we once again get fired up and kick off the Damn Sports Show, presented by Real Sports Cards in Waupun. A show that's as honest and self-aware as their hosts, Wally Lukaczynski and Charlie Dern.
We're all about accountability.
Big hand-up accountability here.
And of course, we can count on Ashley to keep them in check. She just might be the biggest Taylor Swift fan at the station.
It's champagne problems.
They are champagne
Shout
problems.
out Taylor Swift.
Oh, give me a break.
It's hard to tell. They cover everything: Titletown, pro, college, and high school sports around South Central Wisconsin. Even if it's the Wisconsin Badgers, for better or worse.
I was wrong about Badgers basketball. I've done them before. They're bad.
Catch it all on 1430 ESPN Beaver Dam, Daily Dodge TV, and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Were we the first ones to do it?
Are we trailblazers? People are talking. Happy Tuesday and welcome in to the Damn Sports Show here on 1430 ESPN Beaver Dam and Daily Dodge TV. It's our last week of the weirdness where the Brewers are kicking us off. So you do have us today, you have us Thursday, and you have us Friday this week. Then it is back to 5 days a week. You can depend on us from 4 to 5 every day. I got to give you the first word because, Charlie, it is Badgers basketball week. So with that,
March Madness disavow.
it's a March Madness disavow.
Yeah.
Wow, that's a new age right there.
I considered doing it in an Irish accent, but I don't have one.
You don't have the Irish accent in the bag?
At least I'm not willing to try it.
Not on air anyways, and that might be a tough way to get the show started. But the Badgers are coming up on Thursday. They're going to be one of the early games. My Buckeyes are going to be early too, so we're going to be miserable or excited for you once we get going on that. Today, busy show, and we have to start at least setting the table. Our second block today, we have the voice of the Golden Beavers and Mike Throndsen, who's going to be joining us to recap what was an unbelievable state championship weekend and a state championship game for the Beaver Dam girls basketball team. We'll get his raw thoughts here, only about 72 hours removed from what was an instant classic with Charlie Dern's Whitefish Bay alma mater in the building getting a win. So congratulations to them, and congratulations to the Golden Beavers on what was a special, special year. Make sure you are around for the third block as well, because we're going to have a little montage that was celebrating what was that game. That was 64-63. Unbelievable start to finish. We'll recap a little there. Before we get into who's hot, who's not in the last block, and I've got some St. Patrick Day themes for mine. I really went into the weeds and started finding the leprechaun, so to speak. So busy show, but it is that time of year. We got brackets out, and the Wisconsin men's basketball team has a date with High Point coming up here in just a couple days. Charlie, as we get the show rolling here, High Point scores 1 billion points. When you saw this matchup, first of all, I was a little surprised, pleasantly surprised, that the Badgers were a 5 seed. I was kind of anticipating it being a 6, but that deep run and looking like they did in the Big Ten tournament maybe got them over the hump. What did you think about them getting that 5-12 dreaded draw as we go into March Madness here?
Yeah, it felt like, because the initial gut reaction was worry. Like, oh boy, they did it again. Especially looking at potentially that round of 32 game, which looks like it will line up against Arkansas, of course. We'll see how all the dominoes fall. And then the whole High Point thing. Like last year, the High Point team that made the tournament was better than this year's team. And obviously, like, I'm not watching a lot of High Point basketball. So
you're not waking up and throwing it on ESPN2 and Saturday morning. Oh, High Point's got Winthrop today.
Right. So you're initially thinking about what you know. Right, you just go to what you know, and then you start breaking down. I've been listening to different things, reading different articles about High Point. It's not the same team as last year. They're the lowest ranked 12 seed, and there's some different metrics about how they're like the worst 12 seed ever on the 12 line. So We'll obviously see how it pans out, but I'm pretty confident that the Badgers will roll in that one. They're playing way too well. We just took Michigan down to the wire. We just beat Illinois. We're talking like some real high-level basketball. So I think they'll be able to handle business, and then ultimately that round of 32 game is where we'll have to batten down the hatches.
Cross those fingers, sit on the edge of the seat a little bit more. I tend to agree, just for the simple fact, too, that the Badgers are going to be the bigger team. We've seen them play now. It feels like they're playing their best basketball of the year going into a good stretch of the season to be doing that. And then High Point, just, again, diving into numbers. Yeah, they score the 5th most points in the NCAA. So you expect those runs to come. And that's going to happen where they go on the 9-0 run. Everybody's flipping out. You go to a television timeout. And then you kind of expect the Badgers to really show the size and the grit and the veteran leadership there. It kind of threw me through a loop when I was diving into the team stats. They scored 90 points a game. They gave up 1 billion points themselves. They're getting into track meets. They're 70th in assists, which kind of threw me through a loop too. So you're imagining a lot of iso ball. I'm excited to at least get to that point, and hopefully this time, unlike the James Madison game, what was that, probably about 4 years ago now, you get over that hump, and then it sets up with what we imagine at this point is going to be one of the games of the second round against Arkansas in a Hall of Fame, or soon-to-be Hall of Fame, head coach and John Calipari. What is that? When you saw that draw come out with Arkansas, they're a team for me. I wanted to have Arkansas in the Final Four, and then I see it's Wisconsin, and that feels like it's another knife fight that's waiting to happen.
Yeah, and they're a beatable team. They obviously have a guy that might go number 1 overall. It looks like he'll go in the top 5 in the NBA lottery with a cuff. So ultimately, like, that is a big worry. But other than that, I mean, if he scores 30-plus in a game, 40-plus in a game, yeah, that's a problem. But I think that John Blackwell and Nick Boyd will be able to at least slow him down. And at that point, I do think the Badgers can win that game. Obviously, you're going to need some things to happen for you. And, I'm even kind of hoping that they'll just lose in their first game to Hawaii. Hawaii's not a joke either, and those games are playing in Portland. So there's going to be a little bit of a travel thing. The only real, true worry I have about that Badgers versus High Point game on Thursday is that it's 10:50 in Portland when they're playing. And so that's a little,
I didn't even think about that. So it's a morning game.
So it's 12:50 Central Time. When we'll be watching it, it'll be 12:50. And so hopefully the Badgers are getting there late where they're not really thinking about it that way or having to worry about the time that way. But, yeah, it might be a little bit of a sleepy arena they're playing in. And that's my only worry is getting up for that game.
Well, you said can win. Do the Badgers see the second weekend for the first time in nearly 10 years?
Yeah, I think they do. Yeah, since 2017, they haven't gotten back there. I think that this is the year that they do. I think it's a bust ultimately if they don't. And this is Arkansas is very good. They obviously won the SEC championship. They're not they're no joke, but I still think that this is a Badgers team that's better than that. I think that they are, and like we've said for weeks now and for even months, it's really any given day with them. If they come out and they shoot well, they'll be just fine against any team. They'll be able to hang around with any team. They can run with Arkansas. That's no problem. And ultimately, if they come out and they're shooting 30% or lower, which they've done, there's some games where they've shot 23% from three. That game they lost to Oregon, the game they lost to USC. When they just come out flat, they end up rolling over. And lately, it's been a lot of Blackwell and Nick Boyd, not even letting them falter that way. So I do think they'll be able to take down Arkansas, but that's going to be an amazing, amazing game. That might be the best game in the tournament this year.
It might be the best game of the first weekend at the very least, because I think you have both teams that are going into that with heightened expectations, at least from recent years. Wisconsin, it's crazy to say. They haven't been back since 2017 to the second weekend. And I love looking, when you have the SEC, for instance, it's not like football. It's a much weaker conference. In the Big Ten, you get in fistfights every single night. And sometimes I feel like that is a detriment to the teams when they get to this time of year, because it seems like Big Ten teams run out of gas. We haven't seen a Big Ten national championship since 2000 with Izzo's Spartans. Do you think there is something to that? Am I making a mountain out of a molehill on that? But I do think that scares me almost a little bit, that we have seen the Big Ten falter when we get to this point of the year.
Yeah, I think with the way NIL is going in college hoops, that it's changing the whole dynamic of all of this now. There's teams like Kentucky that spend $20+ million on their roster, and they still aren't very good. And then there's and that might have to do more with upsets happening in March. I don't think there's going to be a lot of upsets, just like last year where there weren't a ton of these Cinderella stories. I don't think that's going to really happen anymore. Just with, if a guy's really good on a MAC team, he ends up leaving for the Big Ten. Even if he's the sixth guy on the roster, I missed a 6-7 there. Even if he's the sixth guy on the roster, he's still making way more money, and he's going to do that.
Yeah, well, and that's this NIL. I think if anything, you're going to get back to the 80s and 90s style where the first weekend doesn't see the upsets that we kind of have grown accustomed to in the last 10 years because NIL is a direct war on mid-majors. And you don't see teams like the Miami Redhawks this year who made it in with the only one loss in the conference championship. They're one of those teams, too, that of the guys that are going to be eligible next year, there's a good chance a lot of them aren't playing in Oxford, Ohio. They're going to be going up the ladder and going elsewhere. So I kind of anticipate you seeing that little shift. But whether or not you are picking conferences or whether you're picking on names, there are ways to pick a bracket. And we decided a little earlier today, big shout out to Ashley Dobrzinski, who put this in our brain about 2 weeks ago. We came to a consensus on a Sweet 16 that is primarily, and I'd say primarily, but almost unilaterally decided on which mascot would win in a fight to the death. And we got to Sweet 16. Ashley, I want to give you the first word because we did have a couple contentious picks to even get us down to 16. And I know you wrote some down. Can you go through some of those and why we chose one way or another before we get going here?
Yes, of course. So we did start with Duke and St. John. So we had the Duke Blue Devils against the Red Storm. Ultimately ended up picking Duke. However, there was a big discussion over Devil outlasting a Storm.
And I think we came out on the right side. I think the Devil's going to come through in a Red Storm.
Yeah, doing our research that we were doing, which it was very high-level research.
It was. Well, that's why you come to the damn sports show for all your high-level sports analysis.
Very true.
We when the Storm logo had to do with lightning, I just felt like a Devil would be able to manage that.
That with the pitchfork, I feel like it just fends it off pretty easily. So I'm with you. Duke was one of the Sweet 16 teams, but we did have I believe one other. Did we have? Yeah, we did have one other issue.
We actually had 3 other issues.
We did? Getting into the Sweet 16?
Yeah.
What else was there?
Sorry.
Getting to the Elite Eight. Elite Eight. We ultimately decided on the Elite Eight. And
okay, good call.
The big one was the UW Badgers and Arkansas. And as Charlie did not realize, I did not either. This was a very good point out by him. It was Badgers versus Razorbacks, Wild Hogs. Charlie, what did we learn from that?
Well, so yeah, I was originally thinking Badgers were going to go for a run here because I would ultimately, if we're going down the bracket here, I think the Badgers have a chance against a Shark. I think the Badgers, just the way that they are, being a small animal, kind of like a Wolverine almost, very similar to a Wolverine, very
better animal.
But a Wild Hog being 150 plus pounds. A feral hog.
And we didn't know that. We
didn't realize that they were that large. I knew they were big, but 150 to 300 pounds for a feral hog is crazy.
Well, there's a reason why, the Game Commission doesn't have, kill as many badgers as you can.
Right.
If you find a hog, you better put that thing out of his misery.
Yeah, the videos of guys on helicopters with, actual machine guns taking out the hogs. I would sign me up. That sounds sick. So, yeah, ultimately the Hogs moved on to the Sweet 16 to face the LIU Sharks.
Which, of course, we'll come back to that. But we also had the Georgia Bulldogs against the St. Louis Billikens. And this was, again, with our intense research that we did. The synopsis at first was that no way would a Bulldog beat a Billiken. But what did we find out?
That they're impish.
Yes, and that in order to win, the Billiken would have to be, am I pronouncing that right, by the way?
Yeah.
Okay. The Billiken would have to have supernatural powers, correct?
Correct. Yeah,
Yes.
which we're not just assigning that. If it was a cowboy, we had to look at the mascot and make sure that they were indeed carrying.
If they were carrying and they were protecting themselves in certain means, we had to take that into account.
Using that two-way.
Which is exactly what we did with the other pick here, was Alabama was going to take on the Texas Tech Red Raiders in the second round. And simply put, with the distance, with the ability to be on horseback, and having a sidearm, I think that was going to pay dividends, and that's why we ultimately decided in the Sweet 16 the Red Raiders would triumph over an elephant named Al.
Yes.
So as we go into our Elite Eight, so let's walk it through. This is where we're at right now. Duke versus Furman. Duke
Paladins.
is the Blue Devils. Furman is the Paladins. So
For our listeners, what is a paladin?
It's pretty much an elite night. So to get there, Furman beat UCF, which is more of a regular
was a
night.
holy night.
Well, and it's used in like more of a mythological religious figure. It's not necessarily a real
that's
night.
a big battle there.
Yeah, and
Huge.
so Furman took down Spartans because Furman just simply had too much armor.
Which I disagree,
for
but
Spartan to
that's
break
fair.
through.
That's fair.
We're talking armor here.
I got outvoted. I can live with that.
We're not talking about necessarily an elite Spartan. We're just talking about
Not King Leonidas.
not Leonidas. So Furman the Paladins against the Duke Blue Devils.
All right, how about the McNeese Cowboys against the St. Mary Gales?
Wait, Wally, did you pick Duke or Furman?
See, I went with the Blue Devils.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, see, I went Furman there.
Oh, I went with the Blue Devils as well.
I feel like the evil power of Duke, and that fits Duke, by the way, in
That
a
does.
great world.
That does.
The evil often triumphs over good, and unfortunately, I had the Blue Devils coming out on top.
Yeah, I went good versus evil there. I picked Furman and the Paladins to take down the Devils.
Yeah, a
Interesting.
strong 15, getting all the way to the Final Four.
I mean, they have divine intervention behind them.
That's fair. But the Cowboys have something else, and that's called a sidearm as well.
Yeah.
So they were taking on the St. Mary Gales. And before Ashley's going to jump in and ask the same thing, can you inform for our listeners at home what a gale is? And it's not a wind, mind you. Isn't it some kind of just like clerical,
Like a warrior.
a clerical warrior? So I came out with the Cowboys because, let's be honest, I'm taking the guns.
Yeah, I had McNeese over the Gales there. Yeah, it's a lot of these are like Indiana Jones. The first one, Raiders of the Lost Ark, where there's the guy with the sword that he's swinging around, and then he just pulls out a pistol and shoots.
Well, this is where I think we go to the game of the tournament. The Long Island Sharks versus the Miami Hurricanes on the other side, in the west side of the bracket. This one, I had to pester everybody in the office to get their take. Where did you come out on top? Does a Shark outlast a Hurricane, or is a Hurricane going to take it to the Shark?
Oh, you know what? I didn't think about it like that.
Because it's in water.
Well, if a shark beats a hurricane, how does a hurricane beat a shark?
So
Like, you
go ahead.
No, I'm just thinking about it because, like, a hurricane could easily beat a shark. Well, not easily, but it could happen. But how the heck does a shark beat a hurricane?
So Wally's saying it just needs to outlast the hurricane.
Because a
Yes.
Hurricane only lives for like a week and a half, 2 weeks, right?
But the hurricane, Wally made a great point in our meeting today. A hurricane could pick up the shark and bring it to shore.
Sharknado
That
style.
shark- Exactly.
Or
True, and this is a hurricane that it's fighting. It knows what it's doing. Yeah, the hurricane, it's too strong for one shark to swim away.
okay, so I agreed with you. I have Miami coming out. So at this point,
So
we
do
have
I.
Duke, you have Furman. We agreed on McNeese State, and we both have Miami in the Final Four, which is ironic because I think this is a blowout in the next one. The Iowa State Cyclones have to dominate the Texas Tech Red Raiders.
Yeah,
Easily.
that's not close. But I was also working under the assumption of a cyclone being also pretty much like a hurricane.
It is.
But then we kind of learned that it might just mean it's just a tornado.
So
But it's
that's
not a
interesting.
tornado.
And I'm with you, Dobes, because I did some deep diving research in lead up to this. So as we do have the Cyclones versus the Hurricanes, the big notice that I saw is that hurricanes, typhoons, and cyclones are all tropical storms. The only difference is where they form. Hurricanes form in the tropical Atlantic in the eastern Pacific Ocean. Typhoons form in the west Pacific Ocean, and cyclones form in the south of the equator. So they're just below the equator, otherwise doing the same thing. The difference is that hurricanes tend to be historically more costly. So with that in mind, I think the Miami Hurricanes are going to come out on top over the Iowa State Cyclones.
Yeah, I would have to agree because hurricanes tend to have greater wind speeds and have a higher impact of storm surges.
There you go. That's easy.
Yeah.
Give me the size.
Yeah.
It's a length battle again. Give me the Hurricanes.
So, yes, I think that the Iowa State might be talking about tornadoes.
I think they probably
Oh.
tried and they just got it wrong.
Well,
Like, thanks a lot, Dorothy and Wizard of Oz, calling it the wrong thing. It's a tornado.
so looking at their logo, very tornado-like, and then Well, they got their name over beating Northwestern in 1895, which is lame because they hit them like a cyclone. Come on.
Well, again, it sounds like they just don't know what a cyclone
They're
is.
very
at that
red.
point.
That's lame.
They are very red.
More of an orange.
Think of red orange.
Maybe that's the yellow. But yeah, I've got Miami advancing to the championship. The Hurricane over the Cyclone. I think there's a size problem here.
It's definitely a size issue. But if you look on the other side, this is where, to me, I have the Blue Devils. I'm going with something that's an evil force.
So do I, Wally.
And we have them going against McNeese. And I think that you and I, again, we got to go Duke here, right?
Against Miami?
No, against McNeese to go to the championship.
Yes, easily against, Duke's going to the championship.
You going Paladins or Cowboys?
I have McNeese over Furman. I think it's the same Indiana Jones thing again. I think a gun beats a sword.
Well, is the gun going to be able to shoot a hole in a Hurricane that already isn't there?
No, I have Miami Hurricanes ultimately winning the national championship as the most powerful mascot in the nation.
So we all have Miami Hurricanes winning.
Oh, no, not so fast, my friend, as Lee Corso would say.
I do.
You think that a Blue Devil, it's got blue in the name, is going to be overpowered by a Hurricane? I think that it lives in the elements. I think that just like in a real bracket, I'm coming out the same way. I have the Blue Devils being the national champions, being able to not only outlast, but harness the energy of the Hurricane for its own evil goods. Therefore, the Blue Devils of Duke are going to get it done this year.
What would its powers be? What would it be able to do to a Hurricane? Like trick it?
Bully it.
Like it would
Trick it?
It would play tricks?
No, in Duke, it'd probably be like, yeah, hit this spot. It's a heavily populated area. And Hurricane's probably not smart enough to think for itself. It's like, yeah, it sounds great. Something to consider.
Take, Wally.
Thank you. I just think the Seagull, by the way, is a mascot. That's a tiebreaker. Blue Devil every day.
Ooh, ChatGPT says that a Blue Devil would be able to keep fighting through injuries. And it's not necessarily the classic red flames, but blue hellfire. So it's hotter, more concentrated.
Yeah, blue flames are hotter than red flames. It's something to consider.
It induces anxiety.
Wow.
What does that mean?
That's what the Blue Devils are
Wait
about.
a minute.
Yeah.
So if we're talking about fire with Blue Devils,
Hellfire.
Oh, wait,
What did
yeah. A hurricane would put the fires out. Put the flames out.
It would be
flames
unaffected by the water.
I don't think
Size
that's
problem.
true.
Guess we're going to find out.
I think there's just a size problem with the Hurricanes sweeping over.
I think we
Duke.
should keep up with these and see how many we get right.
It's not going to be a lot. We have Furman in the Elite Eight.
Yeah, it's a
He
lot
hasn't
of
in the Final Four.
a lot of upsets, and I just did a whole thing about how I don't think there's going to be even very many upsets in March Madness this year.
Yeah,
And
we
you
have
have a
Long
15 in the
Island.
Final Four.
Long
Will Wade's
Island.
not even coaching there anymore.
That's true. We have McNeese State in the Final Four.
But McNeese still has Amir Khan, the team manager that
That's
went
true.
viral
Thank
last
God
year.
for that.
Yeah, he transferred to NC State, left the program, and transferred back to McNeese.
Even NIL, you can't protect the managers even in this era.
Yeah, I actually have a family friend who is a Vanderbilt team manager, so we think there's like a big battle of team managers in that one.
Wow. All right.
5 versus 12.
Something to consider.
Upsets happen, though.
We're going to be right back. When we come back, Mike Throndsen, the voice of the Golden Beavers. We're going to talk about some basketball that actually happened on the court, and that was an instant classic over the weekend. We'll hear from Mike next on the Dam Sports Show on 1430 ESPN Beaver Dam and Daily Dodge TV.
The Brew Crew are back on March 26th.
Curio sends it deep to left, and there she goes.
Catch the Brewers on local TV as they open up the season against the Chicago White Sox.
And Yelich launches one deep right center field. Forget about it. Oh my goodness, third deck.
Brewers opening day is presented by Construction Business Group. Tune in March 26th at 1:10 on Fox 6 in Milwaukee, or check your local listings to watch the game.
Every financial journey is unique, and people can help you navigate.
The People team always goes far above and beyond to make sure that all of my decisions are in my best interest long term, and that I am fully educated in all the details of my options. They always follow up and make it feel like I'm the only client that they have.
Whether you're just starting out, preparing for retirement, or anything in between, People can help. Visit mpeople.com to learn more. Federally insured by NCUA, Equal Housing Lender.
Hey, it's Stacy with Slumberland, Beaver Dam and Watertown. Our March Madness sale's going strong, and you can save big on all the brands you know, all the brands you love, and all the brands you trust. Did you know no one sells Sealy for less than us? Take advantage of our Sealy Sofa Park Firm mattress for as little as $499 or our Slumberland line. Now, our Slumbercrest line is going to save you tons of money, starting as low as $399 for a queen-size mattress. Or take advantage of our Sealy Posturepedics for as little as $999. Ask us about our cash. Our Purple mattresses, now the Purple Restore mattress, gets you up to $300 bonus cash. Our Nectar mattresses are up to 40% off, and get bonus cash on all the brands you really love: Tempur-Pedic, Sealy Posturepedic, and Stearns & Foster's. Get up to $300 in Slumberland cash with select mattresses. Also, ask about our no-interest option on these items for up to 60 months. Take advantage of all the savings right now during our March Madness sale going strong at Slumberland Furniture, Beaver Dam, and Watertown.
There's power in your smile. Hi, this is Dr. Adam Forster from Columbus Family Dental. Your smile can make or break a day, start a conversation, even double a dose of courage. At Columbus Family Dental, we are committed to protecting your grin from ear to ear. Young and old, orthodontics to cosmetics, we're here to make it that much easier to share your smile. Columbus Family Dental is now accepting every kind of smile. Call us today for a free, no-pressure consultation at 623-5559.
On top of the world or bouncing back, there's no better time than right now to take care of yourself. Marshfield Clinic Primary Care helps you stay on track with recommended screenings and annual visits, or simply connect on your overall well-being. And if you find yourself in need of care quickly, we often offer same-day appointment options. Marshfield Clinic. Enjoy life with confidence. Explore appointment options today at marshfieldclinic.org/primary care.
Anger towards your noisy, faulty furnace should not be the only thing keeping you hot this winter.
I'm tired of this.
If your furnace can't keep up, call JB Mechanical. They'll clean and repair and keep you warm all winter. So if your self-furnace inspections sound like this...
Okay, turn it on.
What the... Oh my... Then don't suffer through another noisy night. Take advantage of JB Mechanical's fast, friendly, professional service and get your furnace running today. Visit jbmechllc.com, a proud Trane dealer.
They're doing their best to work like Wildy today. What's your excuse? Don't let your eyes or ears miss anything happening on the Damn Sports Show. Presented by Real Sports Cards in Waupun.
Welcome back to the Damn Sports Show on 1430 ESPN Beaver Dam and Daily Dodge TV. Before we get to the voice of the Golden Beavers, we want to remind you, if you were looking for a one-stop shop for all things sports cards, head on over to Real Sports Cards in Waupun or check out their app. Whether you're into sports cards or Pokemon, Real Sports Cards has you covered. With live break streaming right there on the app, you can grab individual cards on the go, be part of a group and watch for your favorite players and teams as the packs get open. Go to the Apple or Google Play Store today. Look for the orange logo and take your collection to the next level with Real Sports Cards, your local resource for all things sports cards, Pokemon cards, and more. I had such a pleasure over the weekend getting to call two unbelievable games with the voice of the Golden Beavers and Mike Throndsen. Mike, first of all, happy St. Patrick's Day, and have you caught your breath back from what happened on Saturday night?
Well, I'll tell you, it's taken me a couple of days to come down from that. That's for sure. As you said, Wally, what a weekend. I mean, it really was. And that state championship game on Saturday was perhaps maybe the greatest game that I've ever had the privilege to call. I mean, just based on the way that it played out and, what was at stake. You had two teams that, were fighting for a gold ball, two really, really good teams throwing everything they had at one another. And I don't need to tell you that, Wally, you were there. But it was incredible. And I've called many, many, many great games in 29 years, and that's right near the top. I mean, my goodness, it was something. It was a sight to behold.
It was an unbelievable game. It made me feel validated because I thought that it was the best basketball game I've ever been affiliated with. And to hear you say that, even in the moment, this might have been the best game you covered, I think it spoke to how special that night was. And not to get lost in all this, Mike, you said it last week. This is a Beaver Dam team that a lot of people outside of that locker room had no thoughts whatsoever that they could be playing on Saturday night. They were the third team ranked in their regional. So in theory, they weren't even supposed to come out of that. What do you think it speaks to, the mental fortitude of this group to be able to overcome obstacles as underdogs time and time again?
It speaks volumes. I mean, there's no question. We had talked, off and on through the weekend. You and I did, Wally, and I mentioned it on the show last time I was on that, the expectations, like you said, outside of the team itself likely weren't there, unlike some of the runs we saw, back in 2017 to 2020 when there were some Beaver Dam teams that were heavily favored to get to state and to do well. But what we saw here over the last couple of weeks was I saw a team, and we all saw it, we saw a team come together and gel like maybe no other. They were good. I said that. They were good. They had a good regular season. They were playing well. They played well all season. They played, in fact, great at times. But what they did at the end of the season, that playoff run, everybody just cranked it up a notch, and they all came together and just gelled like I've never seen a team gel before. I mean, would you agree with that, Wally? I mean, that's what I saw. I mean,
I couldn't agree more. And this is a team that even in that player program that we get lists Whitefish Bay's starting five as the elite five. And you saw that, first of all, a ton of credit to Whitefish Bay and what they were able to do. But to play a team as deep as Whitefish Bay is, and to be able to come out not only swinging, but it felt like at points they were going to be the ones to obviously come out on top. It didn't happen that way. I think it's a testament to how deep this team was. And Mike, I know that you love this team and you've got to see them grow before our eyes this year. I'd love for you to talk about some of the people that don't get the shine necessarily, and starting with Jolie Dronick, who had the game of her life on Saturday night, putting up 19 points and truly a spark that team needed when Whitefish Bay came out clicking on all cylinders.
She was fantastic. I mean, yeah, you're right. I would agree with that 100%. It was the game of her life. And, to be able to do what she did. Jolie Dronick she's as tough as nails. And that's why I admire her play so much. I mean, and I've kind of tongue-in-cheek talked about this even on broadcast where I said, here's a gal that constantly gets bumped and battered and kicked and bruised and knocked down, and we joke that she spends more time on the floor than lying on the floor than standing on it. But at the end of the day, she gets up and dusts herself off and basically kind of looks at the opponent and says, "That's the best you got." I mean, she's that tough, and she was an unbelievable spark in that game on Saturday night. She was, and like I said, sometimes we don't maybe give her enough credit. Instead, just fantastic. You can talk about other heroes and unsung heroes. Look at what Kennedy Carroll did coming off the bench during this playoff run, knocking down threes left and right. She was a spark at times when the team needed it. I mean, if maybe needed to get the lid off the basket, well, there she was, and she was that spark at times when it was needed, and you could go up and down the roster, and everybody, everybody on that roster, starters, bench players that were getting in, did something. They were all an integral part of contributing to the success of the team. And you mentioned the depth, Wally. I talked about that a little bit. The depth was definitely on display, I think. Not only during the playoff run, but the entire season. We saw it, where they certainly were a team that if one person maybe was struggling or having an off night, there were 2-3 other girls that would easily be able to go out and pick them up.
Well, Mike, I want to ask you one last one before we let you go today. But you said it perfectly, I thought, how we ended the broadcast the other day, that this team etched itself into Beaver Dam history. And yeah, it's a silver ball and not a gold ball. But what are you going to remember? What's the lasting impact of not only this team, but this senior class as they go on to greener pastures?
Well, and that's it. They are going to be remembered forever. I mean, there's no doubt about it. I said they may have come up a little bit short on Saturday night, but they played like champions. And I'm going to remember, how much this team gelled and came together. And I'm also going to remember how much they genuinely cared about each other. I mean, I've covered lots of teams, and there's lots of teams, teammates that have been close over the years of teams but this team, the genuine affection they have for one another, the way they came together, the way they had everybody's back, the way they represented, their school and their community, is what I'm going to take with me. Like I said, to me, they had already won. They had already been winners and won me over long before Saturday night. And Saturday night was, just another example of the no-quit attitude that team had, and the way they came together. It was truly a remarkable sight, and I probably haven't gotten ever maybe that much emotional about a team that I covered when they lost. But you know what? They didn't. In my mind, they're still champs because that's the way they played. They played like champions.
Amen to that, Mike. And I had an absolute pleasure calling that with you. I want to thank you for that as well. And it's tough now, but I'm so excited. We get to do this all again when we come back into November next year, as we hope to see Beaver Dam get to the Rest Center sooner rather than later. But, Mike, thank you for giving us some time, and thank you for all the fun memories this last few weeks.
Hey, you are very welcome. It was a pleasure to have you with me, Wally. You did a heck of a job, and boy, we had some fun, didn't we? We really did.
It sure was, and I got to have a cheat meal in Sammy's Pizza down there in Green Bay, and whoa, buddy, Mike, you got me onto something.
I'm glad that you were able to have that cheat meal because I wanted you to try that, and I'm glad you liked it, bud.
Hey, absolutely. Well, Mike, we'll catch up with you soon. Enjoy a little bit of a breather here.
That sounds good. I think I will, and appreciate you having me.
Hey, absolutely. The great Mike Throndsen, the voice of the Golden Beavers. You're going to hear a little bit more of him as we're going to play some of those key highlights coming up in the third block, so stick around for that as we recap and talk more about the state championship game that happened on Saturday night. That's next on the Damn Sports Show.
This is Scott Ritzma, head coach for Laconia Softball. You're listening to 1430 ESPN Beaver Dam.
This Daily Dodge News update is brought to you by Prairie Ridge Health. They offer routine checkups and specialty services and inpatient care at the hospital just off Highway 151 in Columbus. Learn more at prairieridge.health.
From the Daily Dodge News Center, I'm Terry Bell. Wisconsin is getting back to normal after yesterday's blizzard. Wausau set a record for snowfall. More than 71,000 homes and businesses across the state lost power. The State Patrol reported more than 90 crashes. The city of Beaver Dam's latest assessment shows the Meta AI data center will pay twice as much in city taxes than first thought. Mayor Bobby Marks says a more recent assessment shows close to $20 million a year. The deal that brought the data center to Beaver Dam was hammered out under terms of a non-disclosure agreement. This week, the Wisconsin State Senate could vote to outlaw NDAs. A write-in candidate for Beaver Dam Common Council District 10 is stepping forward. Gabriel Reyes Jr. is an outspoken critic of the Meta AI data center. Terry Bell reporting from the Daily Dodge News Center. Submit your news tips at dailydodge.com.
That was the Daily Dodge News Update brought to you by Prairie Ridge Health. They make it easy to get the care you need, close to home. Learn more about their services and locations at prairieridge.health.
How much does it cost to talk to Gruber Law Offices after a serious accident? It's free. Yes, free, as in it won't cost you anything to speak with us. There's never a fee until we win your case. Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
Prizes, exclusive experiences, even cash money. You want it? We've got it. Find a list of all contests and official rules by visiting dailydodge.com/contests. That's dailydodge.com/contests.
Ugh, Randy, my kitchen and bathroom are straight out of the 90s.
Oh, like Friends reruns 90s? Or dial-up internet 90s?
Full-on dial-up, Randy. Oak cabinets, busy countertops. It's all very talk to the hand.
Sounds like your spaces need some serious upgrades. A professional floor covering, we do more than floors. We've got cabinets, countertops, and design help to take your kitchen from all that to all this.
So no more as if every time I walk in?
Totally. We'll help you ditch the outdated look and bring your kitchen and bathroom into this century. You'll totes be feeling like you're in a spa, but like without all the whispering. Unless you want that, I guess. Get the process started by visiting PROFLR.com or stop by our showroom in Beaver Dam.
Nice, bro. These renovations are gonna be the bomb.
No doubt.
Are you tired of battling a damp, musty basement? Air Care in Beaver Dam has a solution for you. The April Air Dehumidifier will significantly improve the air quality in your basement by removing up to 100 pints of moisture per day. That's 12.5 gallons. The April Air Dehumidifier is quiet, energy efficient, and backed by an impressive 5-year replacement warranty. If you want a crisp, dry lower level for more living space or storage, call Air Care at 920-356-8860. Big enough to serve you and small enough to care.
Wally and Charlie cover Badgers, Brewers, Bucks, and more on the Dam Sports Show, presented by Real Sports Cards in Waupun. Stay tuned to 1430 ESPN Beaver Dam.
Donaldson behind the back dribble. That's her patented move. Now backs up, top of the key, hesitation, takes off again, spins into the lane. Shot is up. Oh, what a shot for Natea Donaldson as she scores for the first time. Beaver Dam's got the lead for the first time, 9-8. Missed the layup. Donaldson got the rebound. She got the ball to Ashley. Kicks it back out. Dronick for three. Yes! Joe got another one. Here's a three at the other end. Yes, for Lucy. Gonzalez buries the trifecta. Well, Beaver Dam shoots the three like nobody's business. Ashley, hesitation, baseline move. Got it off the glass. And one. Shea Marie Ashley. She's going to go to the line. It's 47-43. This is Dronick, left side three ball. She got it! What do you know, Joe? How about that one? Her fourth, and it's 49-47. 2-point lead now for Whitefish Bay on the one call. That's all scoreboard. Tremendous. There's a steal. Jalka, she can tie the game with a layup. It is good, and we're tied. Jalka ties the game at 49 with 9:22 and counting left. A remarkable comeback by the Golden Beavers. Whitefish Bay back in front by Jalka for three in the lead. Yes! Emma Jalka. 52-51 Beaver Dam. Here is Jalka, found a seam, left side in for the layup. Book it off the glass, and we are tied at 57 apiece. On the bank, Jalka shot underside of the rim. It's no good. Rebound for the Golden Beavers. Jalka. Beaver Dam can take a lead here. Right side, double team to the left corner. Three ball. Gonzalez off the rim. No good. Donaldson the offensive board. Put back. Beaver Dam has the lead. Donaldson scores. 59-57 Golden Beavers with 4:35 to go. This is state tournament basketball at its finest. Dronick trying to spin away from a defender into the lane. Up and under, shot off the glass. Joe got it. Jolie scores. 61-57 Beaver Dam. Front end of the bonus. In and out. Offensive board. Donaldson put back. Got it. Natea does it again. 63-60 Beaver Dam. 13.1 seconds left. 64-63 Whitefish Bay. Ashley has it. 12 seconds. Now 10. Ashley. They're going to take the last shot and go for the win. Ashley. 5 seconds. Ashley underneath. Dronick. Blocked. Ball's loose. And Whitefish Bay wins the state championship. The shot was blocked. The ball was loose. Whitefish Bay got it and ran out the clock. And they win a dramatic 64-63 ball game to take home the gold ball. Oh, so close for the Golden Beavers. I'm speechless. This was an epic battle, and the Golden Beavers were right there, and they had a chance, but Whitefish Bay makes the defensive stop, and they are your state champs. But hats off again to Beaver Dam. These players, TJ Jalka, his assistants, as they have nothing to be ashamed of. They have given us wonderful memories over the last couple of weeks especially, but all season long. There was no quit in this team. They gelled and came together like at no other time. They have etched their place in Beaver Dam girls basketball history.
Mike Throndsen, a quick montage of what was one of the greatest basketball games I've ever had the privilege of being around. The Golden Beavers came up just 1 point short, but as Mike said, it doesn't do anything to take away from the incredible year that group of young women had, and credit to them, credit to the coaching staff. Bunch of fans making it out there too, and what we knew was about to be blizzard conditions. Charlie, they didn't give up. They were down 17, found their way back into that game. I really don't know what to say. I thought speechless was the perfect way to describe it.
Yeah, that it's really hard to say it any better than Mike. It was a really fun experience watching it. I was actually at home for the weekend, so I was in Whitefish Bay, then watching it with my parents who were rooting for Whitefish Bay.
Naturally.
And then, of course, that's being an alumni. That is a lot of what I was rooting for. But then also then I started realizing, watching Beaver Dam come back, how much I was rooting for Beaver Dam, because I've been following along all season with it. And it's amazing just how captivating that team was, and to see them fight and come all the way back, because, what was it, 16 points at half, 17 points at half?
It was 38-30 at half, but in the first 2-3 minutes of the second half, they got it up to 47-30.
Right, yeah, right. And so all of a sudden, we're watching that being all right, let's just hope that, keep it a close game, fight a little bit. And, ultimately, the final score is the final score. But, man, they came back and fought so hard. And then it was coming down all the way to the wire. My mom screaming in the kitchen while we're watching. And it was just a phenomenal game. And, of course, Beaver Dam, we know, didn't end up on top like we all wanted. But, they got to be so proud of how they played.
Pride is the word that I felt like we used a million times in the postgame, because it was impossible to be anything but proud. You've seen games where your team loses by 1, and it's I wish we could have gone back and done this differently, or anything like that. This team, it was truly a all-out performance. They played like champions. They just played a team that was 1 point better than them on Saturday, and that's okay. That's what life is. But I love what you said, too, because it reminds me, Beaver Dam girls hockey took on Arrowhead about a month and a half ago. And I thought for the longest time, I'm like, that'll be the easiest game for me to root for. You root for your own school. You root for the one you went to. But then you get to know these girls. Right. You get to cover these girls. And I was, even in that moment, I'm like, I can't believe I'm rooting against my Arrowhead Warhawks.
Yeah.
But I think it's just a testament to how special this town is and how great that group is. And next week we are going to have members of the team in here to highlight what was an unbelievable season, unbelievable run altogether. And at the end of the day, you still have the silver ball coming home. That is always going to be in the trophy case, and I guarantee this town's not going to forget anytime soon what they were able to achieve, and they did achieve that this past weekend. But that's going to send us into our final break of the day. We are going to be coming back. I've got some St. Patrick's Day who's hot, who's not for you, but all three of us, we're going to be getting in on that, so make sure you tune in. Continue to tune in. Great job, Wally. On the Dam Sports Show on 1430 ESPN Beaver Dam and Daily Dodge TV.
Here's a look at your weatherology forecast.
Snow likely becoming mixed precipitation tonight, otherwise cloudy skies expected. Lows around 17. South winds 8 to 15 miles per hour. Cloudy skies expected again tomorrow. A mixture of precipitation likely. Highs level off around 37. About an inch of snow tonight. I'm meteorologist Jennifer Wojcicki on 1430 ESPN Beaver Dam. Currently 18.
Keep up to date with all the latest going on in high school athletics across the region by heading to the sports tab at DailyDodge.com. Local scores, interviews, and more.
Prairie Ridge Health now offers podiatry services in Columbus and Sun Prairie. From surgical solutions to diabetic foot care, our podiatry team is here to help you get back on your feet. Our board-certified foot and ankle surgeon treats foot and ankle injuries and disorders, fractures, bunions, plantar fasciitis, and offers diabetic foot care. Prairie Ridge Health, delivering specialized foot and ankle treatments close to home. prairieridge.health.
Stock up and save on the toughest filters in the business during Wick's Filter Sale Days. This month at your local Auto Value. Score some of the season's best deals on top-performing Wick's filters. Plus enjoy savings on oil, fluids, grease, batteries, tools, and more. It's the perfect time to upgrade, service vehicles, and get ready for the road ahead. See store for official sale dates. Auto Value. We've got the parts. We've got the smarts.
Shop the Pig! Get your grocery shopping done right the first time. Shop the Pig at Fox Brothers Piggly Wiggly in Beaver Dam and Mayville. From everyday essentials to their award-winning Fox Brothers brats and smoked meats, the Pig continues to deliver. Stock up at the deli fresh favorites, grab snacks for game nights, and don't forget their huge selection of beer and liquor. One stop, one cart, and everything you need. Shop Fox Brothers Piggly Wiggly online at foxbrospiglywiggly.com.
Hey, it's Stacy with Slumberland, Beaver Dam in Watertown. Our Mega Madness sale is happening right now, and you can save up to 50% off of list prices in-store and online. This two-piece leather combo by Ashley is called the Balsina Sofa and Recliner, and it's only $979. That's a $489 value. Now, we are the lowest prices on Ashley furniture, guaranteed, which means we beat everybody on Ashley furniture. This amazing Bradney Swivel accent chair is only $299. And our Lazy Boy chairs start as little as $499. Check out our amazing reclining sofas that start as little as $599, or our dining sets on sale as low as $333. This Colson sectional is only $899, and our Riva queen size bedstead is only $449. Take advantage of our no-interest financing for up to 36 months on any purchases $19.99 or more. Shop local and save big during our March Madness sale going on right now at Slumberland Furniture, Beaver Dam, and Watertown.
Every financial journey is different. At M People Credit Union, they're committed to helping you reach your destination on your terms. Whether you need marketing leading rates that help you reach your financial destination faster, financial guidance to help you navigate your path, or digital tools that let you manage your accounts from anywhere. You can do things your own way, but you don't have to do them alone. Learn more at mpeople.com. That's EMPEOPLE.com. Federally insured by NCUA.
It's 4 a.m. and you're sucking baby snot through a tube because she's congested. If you love her that much, love her enough to make sure she's buckled in the right car seat. Find out more at nhtsa.gov/the right seat. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
A show that's so good, you could hang up an in-season tournament banner for it. The Damn Sports Show, presented by Real Sports Cards in Waupun. This is 1430 ESPN Beaver Dam.
It's time for Who's Hot, Who's Not. But first, Milwaukee. Be there for the night that will have everyone talking. Analysis Live is back on March 27th at Riverside Theater. It's loud and completely unpredictable. There's no telling who will come on stage. Analysis always brings out the stars. Stephen A. Smith, Bobby Portis, the Lopez brothers, and of course, Giannis. This year, woo! The Nature Boy Ric Flair is headlining with Analysis. And if history tells us anything, he won't be alone. More surprise guests, more big names, more moments that lead you to say you just had to be there. Get your tickets now at taliveshow.com. Analysis Live, March 27th at Riverside Theater. Doors open at 6, shows at 7. Milwaukee legends, nationwide stars. You never know who else is going to walk on Analysis Live stage. Be there, taliveshow.com for tickets. Who's hot, who's not? Charlie, I'm going to let you start us off today. Who's hot for you this week?
I have Team USA in the World Baseball Classic, even more so. I don't know if you saw it, but they're all wearing some awesome jerseys, game-worn hockey jerseys from, it must just be the tournament. I'm assuming those aren't all
the gold medal game. I feel like you got to hide those away, right? Although, I don't know how often you're going to change. Like, when you think about like the Brewers, how many times do you think that they're getting a different uniform throughout the year?
Oh, that's a good question because of the laundry.
Yeah, because they're not going to have like 162 different ones, I don't imagine.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a good point. I don't know what the jerseys are from exactly, but yeah, all the Team USA players got into the stadium today wearing game-worn jerseys from the the gold medal winning U.S. hockey team.
Let's go. We have another chance. Poor Canada just taking strays left, right, and center from the U.S. But hey,
beat us then.
Well, yeah, that's true. Beat us. They didn't do that in The sled. Oh, Jake Hayes is up there punching his pillow right now. But the Paralympics, gold medal as well. We all speak Canada there, so tough little stretch for the Canucks. Dobes, who's hot this week?
Considering I just got back from Florida, TSA pre-check, because the lines from regular security, terrible. I was in and out.
I don't understand why everyone isn't on TSA pre-check, even if you fly once a year. It's like $60. And you skip
amazing.
the whole line.
Like, I had friends who were in the regular line. They were gone for like an hour.
Yeah.
I was in and out.
And then you even have Clear now, which is the eye one. It scans your eye. A little scary. That
they know it's you with the eye.
Yeah, that is
scan of
creepy.
you, but even that, you're walking right past everybody. If you fly more than once a year, you should just pay for TSA
It's worth the money.
pre-check.
Well, yeah, I guess you can show up later, because my whole thing is typically when I'm flying, I'm going with a group anyways, and I know that the group's all not going to have it, so I'm like, why am I...
Well, see you later. I'm going to go through the gate.
Yes, I'm exactly like
I'm
that
just going to
too.
go up and sit around the gate instead.
I hate waiting in lines.
You strike me as like the fast pass guy when you go to Disney World.
Anything I can do to skip a line anywhere, I'll do it. If I need to get to a bar early to skip a line, like that's what I do as a student. Like, oh, they have a line. I'm not going there. I'm going to somewhere else.
I saw that in Mexico.
Yeah.
We had the Brazilian steakhouse.
Right.
And thank God that they had table set, because like I'm ready to stand in line. They're like, guess we're going somewhere else.
Yeah, immediately. I wasn't doing it more than like a
Charlie,
20
do you
minute.
pay for line leap if you're at a bar?
No, it's
Okay.
actually a whole other conversation. I'm so anti that.
Oh.
What does this pay for? What at a
So
bar?
Line Leap
Yeah.
was actually created by some guys in Madison, but they
It's
would.
a smart idea.
You pay to skip the line at a bar.
You have fast pass.
You
Yes.
fast pass the bar line.
That's unbelievable. I've never heard of that.
so anti that. God.
I'd be more inclined to do that than do like a fast pass.
Well, that's all the same thing. Yeah.
Well, it's just like, I don't know. There's something like the ride's better when I had to wait.
Yeah, but I'm not waiting 90 minutes for a ride.
That's fair. Have a middle ground.
Yeah.
There's going to be a fast pass for the fast passers at some point. It's a
Yeah,
matter of
it's
time.
gonna be the lightning pass.
The lightning pass. There you have it.
Yep.
All right. Well, how about for mine? I obviously the Beaver Dam girls basketball team. I had to give them one more pop. A huge weekend. That's unbelievable what they were able to accomplish. I'm hoping that they got to have some corned beef sandwiches today, unlike me, because that's who's hot. I love the excuse to have this sandwich. I wish we'd have it more than once a year. It's so good. Give me, my mouth is watering. Stack the corned beef high, Swiss cheese, sauerkraut, yellow mustard, rye bread. Give it to me.
I don't like sauerkraut. But I do like, I'm not
None
like
of
that
that sounds
against it.
good.
I feel like I just, why can't you get a Reuben year round?
You should. I mean, they're out there. It's just like, I don't know why. It feels different March 20th or
Aren't Reuben's
17th.
pastrami?
I don't think so, are they?
I thought they were as well.
Pastrami on.
I actually don't know.
And I don't know what pastrami is compared to corned beef.
Rapid fire, who's not?
Pete Crow Armstrong, he's not playing in the championship
Bum.
final.
Bum.
That's so embarrassing. Byron Buxton got to start over him. Haters paradise.
Cubs suck. What's up, Dobes?
Mine's so basic. The snow. I don't want it.
Yeah, this is actually awful.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
at least it's sunny already, and it's like starting to melt already. But that was still terrible.
It was an awful weekend in that front. How
And
about,
it was negative degrees this morning?
are you the pinchers on St. Patrick's Day?
What?
No.
Because that's who's not for me. The people that walk around, you're not wearing green. Pinch.
Oh,
Shut
that's
up.
terrible.
We're not in second grade anymore.
And this came together really luckily.
That was an accident?
Yeah, more or less.
Okay.
It was in a bag that I had packed from Sunday over the weekend in case the snow forced me to. Yeah, and I pulled it out.
I don't think I have any green, like, clothes other than my Golden Beaver stuff, and it's all summer gear. I need hoodies.
Yeah, you're wearing scarlet. It's hardly even red.
I know, it's kind of the reverse of green.
Hardly even.
It's the most red. It's fine. We'll do another bracket challenge with only red teams. That's next. Anyways, that'll wrap us up today. We'll be back same time, same place on Thursday. Make sure you go to our poker run stop tomorrow. Charlie Dern on the spot. Where are we going?
Rock River Tap and
Got it.
Horicon.
We got there at the same time. Be out there. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a great night, everybody.